In Athens, crowds have rallied calling for people to vote no in the upcoming referendum on accepting the terms of another EU bailout. Well, they gathered outside the EU offices in the Greek capital with huge no signs and denouncing austerity. They also chanted anti-EU slogans, with one man burning a €5 banknote. Greek banks are now in paralysis for at least a week and will stay closed after the European Central Bank cut off the emergency funding lifeline. Strict capital controls have been put in place after queues of Greeks tried to empty their accounts. From now, they can only get their hands on €60 a day, assuming they can find a cash machine with any money in it. It's thought 2/3 of ATMs are empty. Understandably, Greek citizens are deeply anxious about what happens next, but when the finance minister was asked about the measures, they didn't get much of an answer.
This morning, by the decision, were you expecting this?
RT's Harry Fear reports now from Athens on what is a desperate start to the week for the Greek people.
When the Prime Minister of the country tweets, the only thing to fear is fear itself, you certainly know that the country is in unprecedented times of crisis. This is no ordinary start to the working week here in Athens. There are limits on cash withdrawals and on other monetary flows, and this is all to try to mitigate this latest episode of this years-long financial crisis here in Greece. Banks are set to reopen on July 7th. That's 2 days after the July 5th date, when Greeks will go to the poll, a snap poll, of course, to vote on the Troika's bailout conditions. Now, tomorrow, Greece is due to pay €1.5 billion to the IMF, among €4 billion to its creditors in total by the end of the month. And there are today fears of a default. Speaking last night in a national address, Tsipras blamed Europe for backing Greece into a corner of continued austerity.
Και ανάγκασε την Τράπεζα της Ελλάδας να εισηγηθεί την ενεργοποίηση μέτρων τραπεζικής αργίας και περιορισμούς στις τραπεζικές αναλήψεις. Είναι πλέον περισσότερο από σαφές ότι αυτή η απόφαση δεν έχει κανέναν άλλο στόχο.
Now, some analysts are gravely assessing that a Grexit is now inevitable. Others, at least, saying that there will be seismic effects on the Eurozone. And here on the streets of Athens, expressions of anxiety.
I think it's going to be a tough week. We're keeping our calm, but we're worried of what is going to happen on the long run.
I think that things are quite crucial, and I don't think it's going to happen anything good anymore. I think we're having a bankruptcy in a while.
Well, certainly unprecedented uncertainty for Greece, with unknown unknowns as implications for the country and its economy and the Eurozone and Europe itself.
Well, the wording of the actual referendum's question is still under discussion, but some in the EU already see it as a choice between staying in the Eurozone or leaving it. France's Prime Minister is calling on fellow member countries to do everything to keep Greece in the bloc.
None of us knows the consequences of a Greek exit from the Eurozone, neither politically nor economically. So we should do everything to ensure Greece stays in the Eurozone.
As for the people of Greece, not everyone's keen to keep negotiating with the rest of the Eurozone.
Now it's our time to say no, because they want the whole our land.
We are here to support the exit from the European Union and the Eurozone.
No to the agreement, overthrow European Union and International Monetary Fund.
Well, financial commentator Jim Rogers believes Greece's role in the wider European economy is not significant enough to keep it afloat at any cost.
It's a lot of headlines, a lot of noise, and it will cause the markets to be disruptive for a while, but 3 months from now, none of us remember if Greece goes bankrupt. Greece is a tiny, tiny part of the European economy, and it's nothing. It's insignificant for the world economy. This economy has been having recurrent crisis since they joined the EU. This has been going on for several years now. If you ask me, what they should do is just go ahead and go bankrupt, get it over with, and start over. But all of this calling names and blaming it on other people is not going to do any good. The bailout is for the banks and the financiers. What they should do is, I say, let the banks go bankrupt. They made the loans. You and I didn't make the loans. Let them go bankrupt and start over.
Still ahead this hour, arrested for following President Obama's advice. An African-American woman is detained for removing the racist-linked Confederate flag from South Carolina's state capitol building.